Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. So China's EV insurance registrations for the week ending July 6th, all of the EV industry was down with registrations. Typical for this time of the month. But something very interesting happened when it came to NIO. So it says NIO, including the Onvo and Firefly brands, had 5,110 insurance registrations in China last week, down 18.89% from 6,300 units the previous week. Tesla registration in China last week decreased by 75.77% from the previous week to 20,680 units. Yes, 75.77%. Most major electric vehicle makers mostly saw a decrease in insurance registrations in China last week. But why is Tesla down 75% plus? Is it because of the intensified competition? Is it because of the Xiaomi, the ramp up of Onvo, the G7, etc., like I said, was coming? Well, it's yet to be seen because everyone was down. But it says that it's typically lower at the beginning of the month. And during the week of June 30th to July 6th, the week of 27th of 2025, NIO brand vehicles in China had 2,500 insurance registration, a decrease of 16.62% from the previous week of 3,790, according to figures shared today on Weibo and several automotive observers. NIO's sub-brand Onvo saw insurance registration of 1,310 last week, a decrease of 21.56% from the previous week of 1,670. So it had a little decline as well. However, what's very interesting is NIO's sub-brand Firefly. It saw insurance registration of a record of 1,300 units last week, an increase of 54.76% from the previous week of 840 units. And a lot of it is being attributed to battery as a service. Now people are getting it at a way cheaper price, just over $11,000. And we knew this was coming, but I'm shocked that we saw a ramp up on a week where everyone else is seeing a decline. Firefly growth last week may have been driven by the launch of battery as a service option, a purchasing scheme that significantly lowered the barrier to entry for consumers looking to buy Firefly models. Onvo and Firefly brands had 5,110 insurance registration in China last week, down 18.89% from 6,300 units the previous week. Firefly had a ramp up. NIO delivered 24,925 vehicles in June, marking a new high for the year and the second highest on record. This represents a year-on-year increase of 17.52%. And our flagship, the L90, is going to be released on July 10th. Now, with battery as a service, it will be very interesting to see what happens with that one as well. For that size segment, I'm going to do a video on that actually later on today. But Tesla had 5,010 insurance registration in China last week, a decrease of 75.77% from the previous week of 20,680, marking the lowest figure in the past 2 months. So it's getting very interesting to see going forward what happens with Tesla sales with the L90 coming. And we all know with the Xiaomi YU7, it's stealing a huge market share away from Tesla now. The G7, I spoke about this. Li Auto have a SUV that they're going to be releasing very soon as well. So it's getting very interesting. Even BYD saw a decline, Li Auto saw a decline. And it's getting very interesting to see going forward what's going to happen this year. XPeng had 6,450 insurance registration last week, a 42.41% decrease, 42.41% from the previous week of 11,200 units. So some of these guys saw a way bigger decrease compared to NIO. Is this a sign of what's coming with our new brands? Li Auto had 7,160 insurance registration last week, a decrease of 10.5%. So they didn't have a big decrease from the previous week of 7,960. BYD had an insurance registration of 55,570 units last week, a decrease of 29.2% from the previous week. And Xiaomi had 4,890 insurance registration last week, a decrease of 46.2%. But we all know that Xiaomi released the YU7 that had an enormous amount of orders. The only problem with Xiaomi is, of course, we all know it doesn't have a safety crash rating like NIO, but also they can't keep up with demand, with the supply, I should say. They can't keep up with supplying their customers' demand. And that's why we know that their customers will be going towards Onvo and other brands, as we see Onvo keeps ramping up. But due to this time of the year, all automakers, and this time of the month I should say as well, always see a lower amount of people ordering. So with the L90 coming and with the BAS, battery as a service, we still don't know what that will be. But one analyst gave their opinion, and it was a very calculated opinion on what that will be. And that is going to cause Onvo, I believe, the L90 to be an incredible seller. So I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we're waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the game is played on Wall Street. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.